Exactly 7:41, Power Weekend on Power 98.7. Man, I'm so excited. You know, at this time, usually there's a song that we are officially adding to our playlist, and then it officially becomes part of the Power 98.7 music playlist. But before we get to play you this masterpiece, trust me when I say this song is a masterpiece. Like I just mentioned, we are going to have a chat with this great talent who is now joining me in studio, originally from Benin, but he's now residing in New York. He has written for the likes of Tate Dolla Sign, Kaiser, Twista, Stig, and many more. He's a great talent. He also has, like I mentioned not too long ago, one of the most inspirational stories in the industry, but we'll get into this during our chat. Shirazee.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Live on Power Weekend on Power 98.7. Mahofi! Mahofi!
What an introduction, sir. What an introduction.
Ah, man. Are you well?
Man, I'm great.
You know what? I told myself I'm going to greet you by calling you Paulo. Paulo.
Government name, huh?
Government name.
Paulo Prudencio.
When was the last time somebody called you that?
My mother, I think, maybe today.
Yeah.
Maybe today, yeah. Once in a while she drops it, but she's getting used to Shishi too. She's starting to say Shirazee. So that's when you know it's serious. When your mother says Shirazee, she starts saying that, then you know it's serious.
So you and your mom, you communicate on a daily?
Very, very much so. I actually got her out here, believe it or not.
Oh, your mom is in South Africa.
She's in South Africa.
You know what? Something tells me she's listening as well.
I actually didn't tell her. I'm naughty today. Naughty Paulo.
So she doesn't listen to your interviews?
No, I just didn't, it slipped my mind, man.
Okay.
You dropped this on me last minute, man. I didn't know I was going to come in here with the king himself. I thought he was going to be over the phone, you know.
Yeah. No, man, we're glad you're here. Yeah. Welcome to Power 98.7. Welcome to South Africa. I read somewhere where it says you're going to be here for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How long has it been now?
I've been here for a week, and I actually extended, so I'm here for 2 more weeks. So I'm supposed to leave on the 22nd, but I'm going to stay another week.
So it's 3 weeks now.
Yeah, it's going so well. So.
All right. No, I'm happy about that, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your name, though. I mean, I called you by your government name.
Yeah.
Clearly, you don't like that very much.
No. It's the CIA, FBI. I'm like, what's going on here?
So, Shirazee, how did you come to Shirazee?
Oh man, it was a high school nickname that was given to me in school in Ghana. I was in high school in Ghana, and I used to be called Z because of soccer. You know, when I dribbled, it was like Z, and I was out Z. Everybody was calling me Z because I was making fun of you when I dribbled.
No relation to Zizou.
No relation. No. It was just my noise, my sound effects, but and it was from Z. It went from Z to Shirazee because one time when I started battling, I was called Z, and I started doing rap battles. I was called Z, and then we were in a history class one day, and the teacher was talking about the Persian African people back in the day, that way back, that were very, that were kind of like cruel, like when they conquered their enemies, down to the kids. And my friend, and he said they were known as the Shirazee. And as soon as he said it, the emphasis he placed on the Z made my classmates look at me like, yeah, that's kind of cooler than Z. We're gonna start calling you Shirazee. And it started like a joke, and it stuck. And so when he was starting to do music for full time, I was like, what name should I go with? Like, I'm not about to be going with Paulo Prudencio as a rap name.
Yeah.
And I started off as a rapper. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to stick with Shirazee. And it just stuck. And when it was time to do it professionally, I was like, yeah, this is what they know me by. This is what my friends know me by. This is what my nickname is.
So basically, you were a conqueror.
Yeah, basically, that's what my friends thought. They were naming me, so I ran with it. So I like it.
So the battling, you were doing it in Ghana?
Yeah, in Ghana. Like
when you were still in school?
In school. Like, we would just wait. If the teacher didn't show up, we're using desks, and it was just...
Yeah. All right.
And you start kicking.
You know what? I know that you lead somewhat a nomadic lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, Ghana is not the only country you've been to. You know, you've been to Paris, Atlanta, New York, South Africa. So you've been all over.
Yeah, man. I always say, man, it's like, I wish it was by choice, but it was more like by life. It was just life kept moving me into these different directions, and I think it was just life trying to make me find my way. And jumping around, I ended up finding out who I was.
And I mean, surely that has influenced your music. Would you say that all this traveling has somewhat translated into the music?
Oh, of course. You can hear it in in my voice. You can hear it in the way I talk. You can hear it, in the music I make. You can hear it. You can hear it. You can hear the melodies I pick. I have these unorthodox melodies that I go to that makes you question sometimes whether I'm really from Benin. Like people go, wait, how did you come up with a country melody on this beat? It's like, it's just, I've heard so many things coming up that just influenced so much for me. Like, from high life, from anything that came into my subconscious. Is contributed to who I am today.
Let me actually test if you're really from Benin. Can I do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Parlez-vous français?
Je parle très bien français.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm about to say. So basically, I just asked him if he can speak French.
Je parle très bien français.
Yeah, but I understand you also speak 6 languages.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. I tell you can go to all these places and not pick up something. I think the only place I feel bad I didn't pick anything from was when I lived here in South Africa. It was hard for me to pick up the language,
Okay.
Which one to go with.
Yeah.
I wish I committed to one, but yeah.
Let me teach you a little something. There's an unofficial language in South Africa. It's called Spitori.
Spitori.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, if you want to say something like, when you're speaking, you say a lot of
Yeah.
Like Shirazee, So in Pitori, if you want to say that, you'd say something like Wadijaj.
Wadijaj.
Ah, my man. Where's that Mahofi? Can we bring that Mahofi? All right. Now, before we get to your song, we'll also speak about how you got to getting Sting, to give you the go ahead. I mean, we are talking about a legend here. Man. I was reading your story. We don't normally do this. I told you prior to us coming on air. We don't normally do this. But one thing that made me want to do this was reading about your story. Mm-hmm. And it caught my attention, and I thought whoever's listening would be inspired as well.
Man, I hope so.
Let's start with how you got to New York. How did you end up in New York?
Do you want the true story or the short story?
I want the truth and nothing but the truth.
So I advise nobody to do this, but I really wanted to make it. I was at a point where I was trying by any means possible to get hurt. So I knew already that I could not really get in there by just going on a visitor's visa or whatever. So I went on a student visa, knowing damn well I wasn't going to go study. And I don't advise anybody to do this, but I had a plan. So I just went, and I ended up being out of status for 3 years, being illegal, until music gave me my papers. So, but I had a plan. I knew I was going there to really make something of myself and make music my priority. And I didn't go to school, but I just went there. I just wanted a way in, because my whole thing was, if you're making music, if you're playing basketball, you want to kind of end up in the NBA. So my thing was, if I was making music and I wanted to make it at a high level, I wanted to see how good I was, whether I deserved to really be on the map worldwide. So I had to go test myself, and that's how I ended up in the U.S. And I was in Atlanta first, and Atlanta wasn't working out. And I got on a Greyhound and I went to New York just like that. I got on a Greyhound, went to New York, stayed in a hostel for 6 weeks. They kicked me out because you can't stay in a hostel longer than 6 weeks. But I didn't know that. But I was naive. I didn't care. Fans, people who love my music on social media, were the ones that were housing me for a while, because they were like, no, you can stay in my place for 3 days. You can stay in my place for 2 days. You can stay in my place for a month. And it was just cool, that I did that for a while, but it was just, homelessness is not cute, you know what I'm saying? After a while you get tired, and I almost gave up. I almost went back to Atlanta, because at least in Atlanta I had an apartment. I broke in my lease, but I was willing to go back and beg.
I get you.
But I ended up meeting a guy who wanted me to write for his artist, and he was like, man, you're not leaving New York City until you write for my artist. And I was like, I don't have a place to stay. And he said, man, you got to meet this lady, this landlady. I'm going to pay your first month rent so that you can write for my artist. You're not leaving New York. And he takes me to this lady. He said, the only thing I need you to do is when we get there, you need to lie that you have a job. Because you can't say you don't have a job. Because you got to tell her that you're working.
But the illegal status doesn't matter.
He said, he's like, don't tell her that.
Don't tell her that.
Don't tell her any of that. Okay. And, but then when we got there, for some reason, I saw her. She's an older Moroccan lady. And I just felt bad lying to her. We Africans, we don't like lying to older women. It's like we were raised different.
Well, it depends on how you were raised.
Yeah, I was raised different. So she felt like my mother. She looked like my mother. And when we got there, I just told her the truth. And she screamed on me. She said, how can you come to America with no money? Da, 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 da. She went off on me. And then She said, keep the apartment. When you have money, pay me. And she slammed the door.
Yeah, but now you're saying she reminded you of your mother.
Yeah.
But now what I was reading, because I was
Samira, by the way. Shout out Samira.
Samira. Shout out to Samira. Whilst I was reading about your story, I remember one part said you reminded her of her son.
Yeah, she told me like, yeah, the same thing. She told me like, you remind me of my son. If I leave you right now, winter is coming. You're gonna be out there in the cold. Like, you don't know what you're doing. Like, that's part of the thing she was screaming at me. Like, you remind me of my, look at you. Yeah. If I leave you now, winter is outside. You're gonna get, you're gonna be out there in the cold by yourself. And yeah, keep the apartment when you have
beautiful.
And so she literally changed my life, because by having that place rent free for 8 months, I was able to find my footing in New York City. And when I finally got my first publishing deal, I was able to pay her back and everything. And
lovely.
And she's still my landlady in New York, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to say.
people don't know. When I tell people the story, they think I left Samira like after I got on.
But isn't Samira is married, right?
She's married. She has 6 kids. 6 kids. She didn't have to do that.
Is it not comfortable though? Is it not uncomfortable for you?
No, I have my own place, like my own place. Her house is next to mine. It's like literally it was separated from my place. But she was renting it. That place was making money for her.
Wow.
Like, she didn't have to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that place is like rent. Like, that's part of her business, you know?
Yeah.
And so she's like, here she goes, you know, renting it to a kid from Africa and like from Benin, and like her husband is looking at her like she's crazy.
Wow, man, that's a beautiful story, and that's why I had to get you to come here.
No, I appreciate that.
Thank
you for having me, and hopefully just inspire somebody else to find their Samira, you know, to go on that journey and find their Samira. We all need a Samira.
Yeah. No, I love that. All right, another reason, in fact, the main reason why you're here is because you have a song that we're officially introducing to the Power 98.7 listener. And I mentioned Sting not so long ago.
Yes, sir.
You know, many South Africans know who Sting is.
Right.
And if you were to ask a South African about a Sting song, they'll probably tell you about Englishman in New York.
Yeah.
But now your song is called African in New York. How did it come about though? You know, you contacting Sting to say, hey, Sting, you know what? I want to remake this song.
I decided to, I got into a point where I put out, you know, some music. Like I put out Home and Away, the EP. I put out some singles here and there. And I was doing, you know, starting to do well. I was starting to be known like, okay, the new guy on the block is great voice, whatever, the compliments would come in. But it was more like I would meet somebody and they would know my song, but they wouldn't know me. It started frustrating me, because I would meet somebody and they'd be like, oh, you're the guy that sings Make Wild? Oh my God, I love that song. You're the guy that sings Soweto. Oh my God, I love that song. But they didn't know who I was. They didn't know where I was from. Or I would say Benin and they'd be like, where? And so then it started getting frustrated. I was like, okay, they don't know who I am. So I was like, okay, moving forward, I gotta say who I am. So I gotta tell them who I am. So I was like, yo, Englishman in New York had always been a song that I was always looking up to, because melodically and the simplicity of the record and the way he told his story, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I wish I could use that melody in that song to just tell my story, just flip it to make it my story.
Yeah.
And a million of other Africans who are all over the world chasing their own dreams, like, they can find themselves in that story. And I was like, if I can just get it right, I think this could be something. So I tried it, and while as soon as the first, when you're in the studio, when you just say the first few things, you kind of feel it. Like I felt it. I looked at Dan, who I was working with, and we looked at each other. We're like, yeah, this is something. So I recorded it, and had SARS help me on the production, and we just did it. And then when we sent it in, it was, first of all, it was denied by the offices. They were like, no, we're not granting you permission. And I'd written for Sting, so I was able to hit up his management from the relationship that I had, and he said, you're lucky you hit me up right now, because I'm actually with him, so I'm gonna play for him.
Wow.
And I'll tell you what he thinks. So
yeah,
he hit me back within 30 minutes. He said, man, he loves it, and good luck, Shirazee, you got our blessing. And so it went from that, I just wanted that blessing, and once I got the blessing, I thought that was it. I thought that was the end of the story.
Yeah.
When I got his blessing, that's it. To me, I was just excited to be able to tell my story. So I shot the video, and I sent it to them, and he saw the video, he loved it, and he sent me a nice, beautiful message. And my PR was excited. My PR people were like, "Yeah, we're gonna use that message to tell the story that he's really endorsed this." And
Yeah.
it went from that to, Africans. You give us a finger, we're gonna ask for a little arm.
That is very true.
And I asked for a conversation on Zoom. I said, "Hey, I think people would want to see us talk.
Yeah.
People would want to see us actually like talk, and this would be our first time talking. And I think we should do it in front of the world." And we did it, and he said yes. And after that conversation, his management called me and said, he has taken a liking to you, and he likes your song very much, and he would like to do it with you.
Oh man.
Would you be against that? And I was like, that's his song
Yeah.
that I remade in the
Yeah.
first place. So if he wants to stand next to me for that's the biggest compliment. That
Man,
was the biggest compliment.
stuff dreams are made of. If you have any question that you want me to ask on your behalf, do let me know on Twitter at @AV_broadcaster at 5F987 hashtag Power Weekend. We are going to wrap this up in a bit, but before we wrap it up, here's this masterpiece I've been looking forward to playing for you. Shirazee and Sting, African in New York.
Every day I wake up, here's a way. 'Cause I got here on a dream. I still hear my mother praying every day. I'm an African in New York.
Come on, come on.
You dey see I'm from my pride and energy.
Hey.
When I dey walk out on the street, you can hear it in my accent when I talk. I'm an African in New York. Oh, I'm an alien.
What?
I'm a legal alien.
What?
I'm an African in New York.
Oh,
Whoa, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
oh yeah. That's right.
Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an African in New York. Whoa, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Go.
I'm gonna make it. I'm
Oh.
gonna make it.
Hey.
I'm gonna make it. Be yourself, no matter what they say. Be yourself, no matter what they say. Be yourself, no matter what they say.
Oh. It's the drums for me, hey? It's the soul for me.
It's the soul. So
Be yourself, no matter what they say. Shirazee
Yes,
and
sir.
Sting,
Yes,
African in New York. My goodness, what a song, man.
Englishman, African in New York.
He says you can see it in the eyes. You can see it in the way he walks. You can see it in the way he talks. Eh?
Yeah.
Are there any struggles that you've experienced in the States?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I was I was tell people I was African before it was cool to be African.
Wow.
Yeah, before it was trendy. So I'm gonna be African after the trend passes over. I'm still gonna be African. So yeah, they try to clown you when I first got there. It was a lot of jokes, but now we're the hottest. So everybody wants to be African now.
I like that. I like that. Hey, did you hear that? Now as Africans, we are the hottest. And I mean, I hear that distinctly African sound in that song, you know, and it kind of feels and it kind of seems like this is what the world is hungry for, sonically.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I totally agree. I totally
Yeah.
agree. That's what we've been praying for years to get to the place where people start seeing us for who we really are and really appreciating our music and
Yeah.
on a bigger level. So today, just to see the way the music is being received is amazing.
No,
It's just amazing.
Munchunzwani, I see you, my brother. Totally loving that song. Bongingozi, I see you as well. Lisedeep, I see you as well. Now, Lisa Mutlozani is asking you about your advice for any young person who's listening right now, who's going through a tough time, and they're trying to make it in the industry. Well, what would you say to that young person?
I'll tell them something that I wish somebody told me early on, and I know it seems to be super cliche, but even Sting says it and the song "Be Yourself," no matter what they say.
Yeah.
I hated my voice when I first started singing.
Really?
Yeah, because I was a rapper. So when I was doing my own hooks,
Yeah.
is when one of my friends was like, actually Scred, he produced 23 on Burna Boy's new record.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He looked at me. I was singing a hook, and he said, "Man, your voice is incredible when you sing your own hooks.
Mhm.
You should do more singing." And I was like, "Nah, I don't like how I sound." He was like, "Trust me," and he gave me that confidence to start singing more. And if only I had just known that my voice was gonna be what helped me get to this point, I would have started singing a long time
A long time ago.
But you know, that's sometimes like, because we're trying to be something else, we try to be somebody else. We think we need to be something else to break in. I'll tell anybody, if you're coming into the game, be yourself. I'm telling you, that's what's gonna get you where you need to go.
Yeah.
So what's his name? Who has that question?
Lisa Homotosa.
Lisa Homotosa. Yo, you.
Lisa Homotosa. What did judge?
Why did judge?
What did judge?
Why did judge? That's what I'm gonna say.
If all else fails.
Yes. Why did judge? Why did judge?
What did judge?
Why did judge? So yeah, I wish I could pronounce his name, but yeah. Listen, man, just be yourself, bro.
All right, I like that, man. That's good. That's potent. That's very powerful. Be yourself.
That's gonna cut you through.
I understand one of the reasons why you're here is because you're working with a number of artists, the Scorpion Kings, that is Maporis, and Kabza the Small.
Yeah, we wanna set that up. Hopefully, we get to make that happen as well.
Oh, so that hasn't happened as yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
I've worked with Tyler ICU.
Tyler
ICU is awesome. I worked with MFR Souls as well.
Oh yes.
Awesome talent, and I would love to work with Ricky Rick as well.
All right, 99.
Yeah, man, he's really talented, and he's got a real understanding on the landscape. Like, he adapts to sound easily.
I like that.
He seems like he's gonna be trendy in every era.
Yeah.
And I like an artist like that, so I can't wait to work with him.
And by the looks of it, you might be trending in every era as well.
Thank you.
I've never been wrong about this, Shirazee.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
You are destined for greatness.
Thank you so much.
I'm telling you now,
I appreciate it.
a year from now, you are going to be one of the biggest artists in the world. This has happened way too many times. I don't like mentioning names. It has happened. I know.
Appreciate you.
I promise you. We're talking about a year's time when you invite me to the
No,
greatness.
I'll come back here.
You'll come back here.
Yeah, I'll come
All
back
right. So that's a deal, right?
Never too big than coming back to the places that supported you first.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. So if somebody wants to keep in touch with you on social media,
SHIRAZEE on everything, but only on Twitter you just add online.
Yeah.
On Facebook you add online, Shirazee online, but on Instagram it's Shirazee, SHIRAZEE. I answer. I look at my DMs. I communicate with people that support me. So yeah, just hit me up and we just gonna vibe. Just come in there with positive energy.
Shirazee.
Yes, sir.
What a star, what a superstar. Looking forward to what you're going to accomplish, my brother, and all the best with your future endeavors.
Appreciate you, man. This was a cool ass interview, man. Thank you so much.
I'm glad. We'll even let that other word pass. It's fine. It can fly. What did you exactly? 6 minutes after 2 o'clock, Power Weekend on Power 98.7. We continue with some more music. We have some vintage black coffee coming up. You don't want to miss it. Also some trompetes after this. But for now, here's a massive tune. One of the most played songs on South African radio right now. It's actually in the top 10. Black Diamond, Sama Yomuti, Power 98.7.